What just happened? Something just happened. Hello.
Oh.
I think we're here.
Hey,
welcome back to another exciting episode of the
Are
What
we
Squad,
on?
where I don't know what the hell is going on. This is episode 70, February 21st, 2018. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Michael Aston,
Hello, everybody.
Matthew Ross,
Hello.
and Jimmy Trammell.
Good evening, everyone.
How you guys doing?
Not too bad. Doing all right. Just flew in from Albany, and boy, are my arms tired.
Yes,
Oh,
well,
no.
they should be.
No. We're starting on that note. No.
Well, and that's the thing,
I
you know.
was-
You
I
work for
was
the
gonna
government. You have to fly yourself. So
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say the flu's been going around my family, and I'm not feeling particularly well. Now I feel just downright nauseous.
Well, if you're feeling sick, yeah, that's not good. Find a bucket. You have a bucket?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what the deal is, because yesterday I couldn't function yesterday, and it just like Monday I didn't feel good. I went home, and then I crashed, and then I woke up. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning the next day, but I just couldn't think. It was like, ugh. You know, when you wake up and you can't make sense of anything, and like your phone's ringing and you can't seem to just like process. Yeah. I was like,
Okay.
apparently I'm not coming into work today.
That was your Monday? I'm sorry.
Well, it was
Uh.
Tuesday, but yeah, when I woke up, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are making me want to go buy vitamins.
I don't think you can get it over the internet. I'm not certain. But no, it's the flu's been going crazy this year, so yeah, please take your meds. You want to take care of yourself.
Yeah. But I guess on
How
that
are you-
note, what do
Sure.
we got? What do we got that'll make us sick?
A whole lot of stuff that'll make us sick. In particular, this news that Sling TV has decided that they would let everybody know exactly how many subscribers they've got. Kind of a thing that's kind of going away as far as these kind of services go. A lot of them are telling you how many they've got. But Sling is coming up and saying we have 2.2 million subscribers, and that does make it officially the largest streaming service available out there. That's more than its main rival, which I believe is PlayStation Vue at 1.2 million subscribers. But it is good to remember that Sling was the first to come out, so they have been around for a little while before everybody else.
All right.
Early advantage is nice. Now,
Yeah, and the way I read it, it sounds like PlayStation View's actually only got 670,000, between 450 and 670. So that makes this.
I misread. It's the one with 1.2 million is DirecTV Now. I'm mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so this growth is pretty huge. Their year-over-year growth has been pretty significant, and PlayStation Vue, while it is doing well, obviously, like you said, DirecTV is leading. I don't know. You got to take DirecTV with a grain of salt, though. DirecTV is giving away everything that they can to try to get people to subscribe, and I wonder how many of those people are going to stick around more than the 3 to 6 month minimum, right?
It's a well-known tactic to give away your stuff almost super cheap in order to get your subscriber numbers so high that when you bring up the price and not a lot of people or only a certain portion of your people drop it and you're profitable again, you still have those high numbers. And everybody else has basically fallen off of your competition has made them all run out of money before you did.
Yeah, I think I understand the concept. I think I'd be a little concerned if I was an executive at these companies, specifically at DirecTV, that they're not giving away everything with the hopes that people will stick around, and not realizing that most of the people that have already or are already transitioning to getting rid of cable cord cutters are not particularly loyal. If your stuff isn't the best, they'll be glad to jump ship after they serve out their minimum service to get their free thing. I mean, this is a prediction. This is not any knowledge, but I predict that people will jump ship as soon as they realize there's better options. So
I'd say saying that the consumers are fickle is the nicest way to put it.
It's also a safe bet.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. Let me ask you a question. I mean, to me, I think 2.2 million subscribers, I think that's enough to sustain a business, right? I mean, I think Sling TV is going to be around with that many subscribers.
As long as they stick around. That's what he was getting at is, as long as they keep doing things that satisfy the customer base, I think they're going to do okay.
All Sling needs to do is basically keep their current packages available at their current prices, and if they want to expand in other ways and do other things, that they should be able to keep what they've got. That being said, we all know that prices for different services eventually rise very slowly. Contracts get renewed and renegotiated, so eventually things have to change. Let's see how long they can last at this, and let's see if that means that all these 2.2 million people stay with Sling.
Absolutely.
I also find it interesting that Sling is breaking this out. You mentioned Clyde that maybe it was Clyde, maybe it was Matt. Sorry, my memory's not what it used to be. I'm old now.
You old man.
You mentioned that they didn't use to break these out, right? Like, why are we getting this information? They don't have to appease advertisers anymore. They're not in it for that ad money. So why are they telling us?
I'm willing to say it's because they wanted to brag about something, but they didn't have anything else noteworthy. So they said, well, what can we? Oh, we got this many subscribers. Okay, roll with it.
I have another theory. The theory I have is that they had more than 2.2 million, but they noticed a small decrease. The trend peaked and now it's starting to head down. So said, now we got to tell everybody we've got the more than everybody. So one time they can say it.
Well, they can capitalize on it.
And then they can still capitalize. They go, oh, Sling TV, it's news. It's a news item. We're talking about it, which means people will sign up for it, and they'll be able to get those numbers higher again. So that's my conspiracy theory on this announcement.
It could be. I mean, it kind of makes me want to sign up for it again and try it again.
Then it's working.
And we are coming up on the period where we might want to reconsider making a second pass through these platforms. But
the one thing I would say that your point is really good, that they don't have anything else to brag about, so they bring this out. That's a little concerning, right? I mean, as the competition increases, the features and the offerings that you provide have to continue to improve, or else you're going to get blown past. People are going to go past you and provide a better service that more satisfies your customers, and you're going to lose customers to them. So it would be concerning if that's the case, and it does appear to be the case, because we haven't heard a lot from Sling TV recently. So that would be the other thing to kind of think about is, are they going to maintain their dominance if they don't make other innovations and other improvements?
Yeah.
I agree. They will eventually be forced to do something else, because let's say 5 more streaming services enter the field, Sling slowly slides into the background as this they're the one service that doesn't have your local channels. They're the one service that doesn't have a great DVR. It does have a DVR you can pay for a little bit. Its big advantage is you can stream it from anywhere. There's no restrictions whatsoever in that case. But other than that, it's got nothing. So eventually, Dish, the parent of Sling, may have to consider making a bigger move on this. And maybe that's what Dish is doing, is they're just trying to write out their customers that are on Dish for as long as they can. And eventually, when they know they're going to fade that out, they will then fully jump over and make it Dish Online or whatever they want to call it. I think they already have Dish Online. Whatever they call the Sling's new version. I mean, Sling 2.0.
Yeah.
Slung.
Who knows?
Slung.
All right.
Yeah.
We have another story. Fox News. Everybody loves Fox News, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they went ahead and made an announcement that they are going to be coming out with their own 24-hour video streaming service for news.
It's about
But this is
time.
not the basically the standard Fox News that you would be able to get on your cable television. Instead, this is what they're calling Fox Nation. And it will have many of their own shows, and will have an occasional appearance from signature people from the Fox News channel. So it's an interest. It's like I really want to watch more of this kind of stuff because I'm really into it. So give me more. I'm a super fan, and I want to see more of this kind of stuff while I'm on the go or not near my news. And so maybe I'll find an odd show to watch on the streaming service.
Rock on. I actually am surprised that I just assumed this was already a thing. And
Well, they already offer their standard broadcasting over the air in a variety of ways,
Yeah.
right? Or online in a variety of ways. So you can get what's live pretty much online, and you can also get and maybe you have to do a cable login or like a PlayStation View login or something. I don't know, but you can already get it over the air, or not over the air, but online in a variety of ways. This is interesting to me. I love the idea of channels providing services a la carte, because there's a few channels that I actually watch. And so being able to subscribe to maybe this and Disney Channel and HGTV, that would be an ideal package for me. That would give me the 4 kinds of channels that I watch, and not have to pay extra. I would love there to be a super cheap over-the-air solution, kind of like what Arrow was trying to provide a while back. But something like that would be really, really cool to me.
Now,
I mean,
Okay.
CBS already has a 24-hour free streaming service already, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you, I don't know, would you want to pay for a news channel when you got free ones out there already, right? I mean, Sky News if you want European news, right?
Yeah, I might pay like a couple of bucks, like $2 or $3 to get like Fox News or something. I tend to watch Fox News. It affirms my political stances. I realize it's not, like, my opinion is it's not with news. It provides commentary about things that are happening,
yes.
which gives me some insight to things that are happening, but it's I don't really view it as news. I do find it entertaining at times. I don't watch it too much, a couple of shows a week, but I might pay a couple of bucks for it. I wouldn't pay much more, and I don't know that I would pay any money for the not real shows, like, because they're saying this is not what's being broadcast on the cable Fox News channel.
Okay.
And so if that's the case, it's like, well, I'm not a super fan. I don't really need to see 6 hours a day of Sean Hannity.
Wait, you don't
please.
want to like subscribe to the Hannity cam where it's all Hannity all the time,
No.
Yeah.
like riding with him in his car as he's going out to pick up groceries?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to comment. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah,
That's what I'm getting at. Is I really like the idea. I'd love to be able to pick up the 5 channels I like for $5 each and pay $25 a month. And while I get way less than I'm getting now, I'm paying significantly less and actually getting the things that I care about.
right. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I do kind of. I have to admit. I mean, I don't ever watch Fox News, but I mean, I kind of get I kind of like the idea as well. Having something like this. I mean, I've been I mean, the only news I really watch is I watch the financial news channels. Sometimes I watch Bloomberg, and occasionally I might watch CBS, streaming or something like that. And that's about all the news I watch. Most of my opinion, most of the news channels nowadays, and I think they all fall in this category, just in my opinion, are pretty much like the Jerry Springer show now, right? So, yeah. So I mean, I just don't find it entertaining anymore, right? The business news is about the only thing that I really like to watch to get any kind of news at all now.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. That's the similar opinion I have, though I do find it entertaining. And
yes,
like I said, it's entertainment more than it is insight, right? Like, because you, like I said, you do get to know about things that are happening, but then you, like, at least for me, I feel like then I have to go and I have to read about those things because what they say is so biased and so leaning right or left or whatever. There's so little that's really going down the middle and just providing facts and not being opinionated and biased. You've got the CBS and stuff like that leaning one way and Fox News leaning significantly the other.
Yeah, Fox is basically the only one that's leaning the other way. But that we've had this conversation before, and that's why I always say it's sad that I have to go to Russia today to find out what's really going on in the world.
Right.
But
yeah.
Right.
All right, I'm going to move on to a story about Netflix. Netflix seems to be buying all of the talent. Now, maybe not all the talent. There's other talent out there that's being purchased by other companies too. But they just picked up the Duplass brothers, which apparently Duplass.
Yes.
I don't know them off the top of my head, but there's a story here about them doing movie shows like Creep and Jeff Who Lives at Home. These guys are just a few of many different talented creators and directors that they've picked up to be running on their service.
Yeah. Most people will know Mark Duplass from The League, the show about fantasy football friends. And then the Duplass brothers just recently had a movie on Netflix called Little Evil, which starring the dude Adam, what's his face from Parks and Rec. But yeah, they do some funny stuff. They're all over the place. Some
other examples is they picked up what is this guy's name? Ryan Murphy from, and so he's going to be doing lots of shows for them. And he's done. I mean, he's a big shot. He's done things like Glee, American Horror Story, People versus O.J. Simpson, and we also
Ryan Murphy of the Modern Rogue.
I don't believe it's the guy from Modern Rogue. If they picked him up, that's awesome.
That's
too.
Jason Murphy.
Oh, okay.
Of all
they
about
also,
Android.
Of course, everybody said there were rumors about the Duplass brothers,
Duplass.
Duffer brothers.
Oh, the Duffer brothers.
Leaving and Netflix says saying nope, we've got them locked in, and they even got Shonda Rhimes, which is popular for some shows.
Well, that was the one that stumped me. I keep hearing the name Shonda Rhimes, but I have no idea who that is.
So if there's popular shows like Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, those kind of shows she's created.
Okay.
Very popular with the ladies.
She created a whole bunch of stuff that I've never watched. The only thing I know about Grey's Anatomy is what I saw in The Soup. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but it seems like Netflix is buying all the talent, which, if for Netflix, it's pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, get what you can, and there's really no downside to picking up popular talent and say, hey, do what you can do. And
so if you
the downside is that some of these guys are costing them tons of money. Like it looked like Ryan Murphy's deal was $300 million. That's
what, like what they spend on coffee in a single day at Netflix.
I'll buy you a cup of coffee, literally.
Yeah, I mean that is a lot of money to recoup, and so while I agree they definitely need to be making moves, because really the way they're going to go forward in the future, especially as Disney leaves and stuff like that, is by being solely a content creator, or a source for distribution of content that they have exclusively for them, that's created for them. So this is a super important move. They're betting the farm on it, obviously. I mean, they're pouring tons of money and buying up tons of talent. So they're trying to become the preeminent place for interesting shows. And it sounds like, well, I never heard of any of these people. I have heard of a lot of the shows, and many of them have been super successful and made a lot of money in the past. Yeah. So if they can, recapture that magic for Netflix, and Netflix has a good track record as a whole. So you add that, I think maybe better than the typical TV studio. So if that's the case, then maybe these guys will do even better.
I mean, I think Netflix is just killing it, right? I mean, they are the number one channel when it comes to streaming, in my opinion. I mean, if I only had to pick one, Netflix would be the one, no doubt.
I'm at the point where I could probably do without Netflix, because it's number 3. When I open up stuff, I go straight to Hulu. If there isn't something new, like these last 2 weeks because of the stupid Olympics, there's been nothing for me to watch. And then eventually I'll end up on Netflix digging around, finding something. But they've made it so impossible to search for stuff unless you know exactly what you want. And that's really turned me off. So if there's not something new that's already in my watch list, I pretty much turn off Netflix, and I don't bother trying to find new stuff anymore.
See, I find finding things on Netflix somewhat difficult. However, I have such a huge backlog of shows that I want to watch that are on Netflix that it's never going to be an issue. I mean, I'm watching Defenders now, and I like the first episode a lot. Looking forward to pushing that out. And I've still got The Punisher. I mean, it's just, and then by the time I get through that, the new Jessica Jones will be out, and maybe something else. So it's like, I don't ever see Netflix being anything but indispensable to me, at least in the near future. But you aren't into like the Marvel shows and stuff like that, so it kind of makes sense. They've got me hooked on some specific shows.
I mean, I will go down that road with Clyde too, to say Hulu is definitely a strong number 2 for me, right? I mean,
I don't know if they want you to say that in those words specifically.
Netflix or Hulu's a strong number 2.
I mean, well, they are. They're strong number 2. I'd have to rate Netflix number 1, but then second to them, I would say Hulu. Right. And third, surprisingly, would be Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Except I think Amazon Prime just killed another one of my favorite shows. So.
Oh, which one?
We'll talk about that later. But
okay.
Fine. Yeah. Hey, you know what didn't die?
What?
So Disney, of course, owns the Muppets, and the Muppets, they try to do this Muppet TV show, and it didn't do that well.
It was awesome. I love that show. I
want to go back and watch it. I really wanted to watch it because I really love. There's a spot right here. It's big M for Muppets right there.
It was.
But I don't. I really have to commit to sitting down and watching a show, and so I'm very, very picky on what I watch generally. But alas, it did not last more than one season. But the good news is, it looks like Disney is going to be bringing back the Muppets. Maybe not directly related to that show, but they're yet to be launched streaming service that they're going to be coming out with is going to have a new Muppets show.
Hooray!
Which is pretty awesome.
I'm always on the side of more Muppets. I don't care what it is, just give me more Muppets.
Yeah, I think that that they should. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'd be all for going back to the variety show I'd be all for going back to another procedural, the kind of the comedy that they tried
A
to do before.
procedural drama
Procedural.
starring the Muppets.
See, I would watch that.
I would watch it too. Like I said, if it's Muppets, I don't care. I'll watch it.
Because they are such wonderful characters and they're fun, and we all know them. And they
As
feel
long as
comfortable.
Statler and Waldorf are there, because they were two of my heroes growing up.
Wow. You got check this out. Do you know when the Muppets first aired on television?
It was 72,
50.
wasn't it?
76.
Oh, 76. Yep.
Yes. Wow, they've been around that long.
Yeah. I had the first couple seasons on DVD, and I watched all the behind the scenes stuff that came with it, and the commentary, and yeah. And the song that everybody gets stuck in their head, that Mana, that was on the very first episode. That's from the very first episode of the Muppets.
Yeah.
And now everybody's singing it.
I know, yeah, it's in my head.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yep. This is
Arr!
I,
Arr!
I like this story for a lot of reasons. I do like the Muppets and have enjoyed them over the years, but if in addition to that, it does give us a good idea of what Disney is intending with their streaming service, and it's exactly what I would hope. They talk about some of the other the other things that Disney owns: Monsters Inc., High School Musical, Star Wars, and then the Star Wars and Marvel movies, and producing both TV shows and movies related to these, and them being exclusive to Disney. So I'm looking forward to this. I want this to be out now so that I can drop PlayStation View and switch over to this and Netflix and be happy with those two worlds, because that sounds like everything I need right there.
Yeah. And that reminds me, everybody, we need to launch a campaign on Twitter. I'm pretty sure Statler and or Waldorf have Twitter accounts. We need to launch a barrage and get them to join us for a movie party, because they'd fit right in.
Hey, bravo.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, awesome.
Yep.
More Muppets. That's all I ever ask for. More Muppets.
I'm just checking for a Twitter account on them. All right, we have a story here about PlayStation View. PlayStation View has been adding more and more of the different local channels. So this week, it's an announcement about 11 more CBS affiliates. They and many of the others of these streaming networks have been working really hard in getting all these local channels in there. And now we're getting a large portion of them basically covered. I mean, almost every single one of these streaming services now have almost all the local channels. This one in particular was talking about getting some in Georgia. So I hope everybody's enjoying their local channels finally.
Yeah, and and I was thinking about that when we were talking about the Sling TV, because that's one place where PlayStation has an edge. Not only do they have CBS now, but they're adding more and more local affiliates across the board. So, yay for PlayStation owners or PlayStation View subscribers. But yeah, you still get the big downside of you can watch your local affiliate if you're at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, so as a PlayStation View subscriber, this is interesting to me, though it makes me question, will that come with the plan that I have? Because I've got their smallest plan. Now, right now, I have like 6 billion channels because they're doing the elite plan upgrade for everybody free, which is actually just annoying because there's so many channels that finding things is hard because they don't have a good search mechanism for getting through to the channel that you want. I can actually navigate with my Amazon Echo directly to the channel I want. So there are some things that work smoothly, but it's just a little bit annoying to just have all those extra channels since I actually want 0 of the added channels. But for me, this is kind of cool. I actually just started watching MacGyver, which is funny because that's the picture that they have there. And I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the show. So, yeah, that's cool.
That's the
This
new
is-
MacGyver.
This is the new I'm actually enjoying it a lot. It's been good so far. I'm like 6 episodes in or something. But again, I mean, I look at the price. If I have to pay $55 a month to get this, man, I can buy 2 whole seasons of shows for $55 in HD on Amazon, and just have it as it comes out, available whenever I want. And so this is a little less compelling at that point, because 2 seasons, I can't watch 2 full seasons of a show in a month, and that would only cost me like $40, $45 or something. So I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna pay for a month just to watch 2 shows, can't you like buy those episodes elsewhere for pretty much the same price, and then you get to keep them?
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh,
Right.
okay, sorry.
I can buy the whole season
There, okay.
from
Gotcha.
Amazon for like $22 or $23 in HD, and own it if I want to go back and watch it anytime I want. And that's, like I said, that's only going to be like $45 a month for 2 full seasons of shows, and I can't watch 40 episodes in a month. So that's more than I'm going to watch anyway. So yeah, that makes this a lot less compelling. But they've got to keep the price, in my opinion, they've got to keep the price in the $30 to $40 range, or it's not worth it to me. Now, I love TV and movies, but I don't watch a ton of it. I watch an hour or so a day on the weekdays, and probably less on the weekends. So.
Yeah, well, if for that much a month, I don't know if that's what it's going to cost for everything. But if that's the case, and if you can buy whole seasons for that amount, it does make a lot of sense. Somebody should just be doing the math and probably make a nice little online tool for you to say, how many shows do you watch? What would you add them all up if you were to buy them? How much is that if you wanted to, pay for a monthly service? Make you help you decide, make those decisions. So.
Yeah, I don't want, just like pet, it's nice to borrow your friend's pet. I don't want the responsibility of owning the video. I don't. I can't remember to watch it or to take it out when it needs to be taken out, or move it off of a thing that gets formatted.
Well, by owning the video through Amazon, he means he can stream it from Amazon anytime he likes.
Kidding.
It's still like borrowing the pet at that point. It's like, I want to buy that pet, but I don't ever want to have it at my house. I just want to be able to come over and pet it every once in a while, and then I'm going to leave it there at the store. But it's my pet.
Yeah. That's why I'm super happy with Amazon, and I'm super entwined in their ecosystem, because I like having. I find myself buying movies that I already own because I don't want to have to get up and put the DVD in when it comes and I watch it.
or me, I'll watch it. I'll end up watching it with commercials because I can't bring myself to hit the TV input button a couple times to switch to a different platform that has it. That just happens to be on a different device, on a different input on the TV. I hear you. I know your pain.
All right. All right. We have a story here about Apple, and they're getting ready to seed their new version 11.3 of their tvOS to beta testers. So if you're really excited about the new features in there, including AirPlay 2, which actually I don't know enough about.
No. They added AirPlay 2 in the last beta. They took it out in this beta.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. So if you like the AirPlay 2, tough.
Yeah, well, they were working. They're just working on some bugs on it, I think, is what's happening. But the AirPlay 2, when it is fully baked, I mean, it will be pretty cool. The big killer feature in AirPlay 2 is doing the multi-room audio feature. So, like say, for example, like I have my Apple TV downstairs, which has my home theater system. I can play music through there. But with AirPlay 2, I would also be able to stream that same music up here to my HomePod in my office.
Jimmy, you need to be careful about how you word that, because you may get a cease and desist notice from Apple because you said that they had bugs. Apple does not have bugs. They may have unintended features.
Well, I was
But they
reading
never have
from the
bugs.
Mac Rumors article here.
Oh,
that we have.
okay. That clears it
Okay,
up.
so you were
That's
quoting.
good.
So when that cease
Right.
and desist comes, you can respond and say, "Nope, I was quoting these guys. Go yell at them."
Yeah. I was reading from the Mac Rumors article.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, but yeah, when it gets fully baked and is released, then yeah. I mean, it's going to be a pretty cool feature. But one thing I'll say, and when you start getting into these smart devices, even I have bought, one of these smart speakers, and I do like it. But then, the further you get down that road and you see features like that come about, and you're like, yeah, okay, it does multi-room, but why not build in some other smart features? Do other smart things.
Oh.
What else can they do in there, right? So the more features they come up with, it seems like the more features you want to see, right? That kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure that they're adding more features to this.
yeah.
Sorry.
Then this is just the stuff we know about. There's got to be stuff that's still under NDA that nobody has said anything about. So
I'm certain somebody somewhere out there has said it. I'm just looking at it real quick to see if there's anything else that I can learn from it, but
Yeah.
not off the top of this. So,
no,
anyways,
we needed to throw Jimmy a bone because the Apple news only comes when he's not here. So he's never here to
That's
defend
true.
them. But then he is here to defend them, and what does he do? He accuses them of having bugs.
which is also true. It's very true.
Well, it is a beta.
Oh, I agree.
All right. Speaker control. And that's about it. My goodness, is that the only thing they get? They get a 2.0 out of that?
Yeah.
This is a feature going to be on the box of every single thing, and they're going to say it's so amazing. And it's the fact that they can send sound to multiple speakers, something that
Everything
lots of
else
other
can
things
do already.
do.
But that's
a
how
long
Apple
time.
operates. They take
know.
a thing
I'm
that
sorry.
already exists and then say, look what we created.
So upsetting to me. Only
Well, but
because
they usually do it a little better than most people do.
I know it's still upsetting to me because that's just it irks me. Sorry, I'm done. I'll leave it alone.
Yeah. I like the perfect example is when iPhone got the shade, the pull down shade that Android had had for years. And all of a
Really?
sudden it was the most revolutionary thing that ever happened. It's like, yeah, we've had that since like the beginning.
The notification area.
Yeah,
really.
well, see, I can resist that kind of thing. I mean, I get what you all say, but I mean, the Face ID, for example, right? And all the Android guys, when Apple comes out with this Face ID, they say, yeah, we've had facial recognition for years, right?
Yeah.
But the Face ID is a little bit more advanced than just a standard
Agreed.
facial recognition, right?
Agreed.
So that's an example of what I mean. They're late to the game, but usually they come out with it just a little bit better. They do it maybe just like what it should have been done in the first place, right? Rather than back when Android first come out with it. I don't know if it's any better now or not. Maybe it is, but
What,
back
the
when they
Face
first
ID?
come out with it,
Face ID
the
is
Face ID,
awesome.
you could just hold up a picture. You could just hold up a picture of somebody, and then it would unlock the phone, right?
Yeah, no.
That's not very good security, right? But yeah, they did have facial recognition there, didn't they?
Yeah. So it's interesting because that is a pattern that continues to happen. I feel like the iPhone is the biggest offender of them marketing revolutionary as they're adding features that Android has supported for a long time. Sometimes they're better. Usually they're just the same features on
Sure.
getting to parity.
Oh, sure.
But with their other stuff, it feels like they do that a little bit less. They just come out and they say, and maybe that's just because they release more iPhone versions than everything else, and so it seems to stand out.
I mean, I could jump on the other side of the fence and say the wireless charging, right? I mean,
Sure.
the wireless charging, that was a catch-up feature, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So yeah, I'm glad that it's on there. And yeah, they could have had it out a couple of years ago, probably. Why they waited till now, I don't know. But that was a catch-up feature.
My personal favorite was in 2013. I got my Optimus G Pro, which was almost a 6-inch phone. It was one of the very first 6-inch, like 5 plus screens. And I'm using it, and every Apple person was like, "That's so stupid. Why does your phone have to be so big? It's ridiculous." Like, I went to my cousin's wedding, and all of my cousins that use iPhones are all saying the same thing. That is the stupidest thing. What is that, from like 1980? And then the minute the 6-inch iPhone came out, they're like, "This is the most amazing thing ever." And it's not an Apple thing. It's more the fanboys that will hate on something that it's the stupidest thing until they get it.
Right.
Now it's Apple just created the most, revolutionary thing ever. It's like, yeah, and it's using the same screen that I had 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and one other thing about that, I'll say about big screens, when you get my age, you want everything a little bit bigger so you can read it, right?
I don't know of anybody that has ever complained when something was too big.
Right.
Everybody wants something a little bigger, right?
Wait a second. Yes, we've heard people complaining about big phones being too big because they couldn't fit in your pocket, or because they were too big for your hand, you couldn't reach across. But yeah. Okay.
So, one of the other things that's interesting about this is that things that Apple does first, like, for example, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Siri was the first, like, full-on digital assistant or like vocal assistant. Like, you could do speech to text and stuff, but Siri was really the first one that...
when Siri came out, I was using Iris on Android, which was a third party. And it was actually kind of better because it used, what's that, Wolfram Alpha?
Wolfram Alpha.
Yeah, Wolfram Alpha. I can never say it. It was using that as its basically repository, so it was very reliable. And
so that's good, but there wasn't any big single solution for that. It wasn't necessarily the first that did it, but it was the first phone manufacturer to put it in there. Now you've got Bixby, Google Assistant.
Don't be bringing that B word on this show.
But for all intents and purposes, Siri is really trailing now. Like, they came out, they were one of the leaders coming out, but Google Assistant, if you read side-by-side comparisons, Google Assistant and the Echo tend to do better at providing what you're asking for and getting it right.
Except for protect your privacy.
Well, I don't know about Apple's. I have never heard anything particularly good about Apple's privacy protection.
Yeah, to use the Google one, you have to give up all your data, right?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, but how do you not do that with Apple?
Apple claims, this is their big claim to fame, is that they're able to do everything they need to do on your phone, which means it's doing the text to speech on your phone. It's doing all that is happening on the phone. Now, can it do all that on the phone and not send some of that up to the cloud? Actually, I would guess no. Your searches obviously have to go up to the cloud, and those can be captured.
Matt is right. I mean, that's how they're doing it, and they're protecting your privacy, but it comes at a cost, right? Because you're right, Mike. I mean, it's not as feature rich as what the Google experience is.
But also you need to note that Android Assistant only uses what you allow it to. You don't have to give it access to everything, but the things that you don't let it have access to, you're not going to be able to use. So if it's more important that it doesn't know where you are all the time, then you give up the thing where, oh crap, where did I park? And Google Maps has your car listed on the, you give up features if you don't want to use them. But so you don't have to give them everything.
Apple claims that they say that everything we can do on the phone without having to do it. don't 100% believe them. Also, it doesn't say anything about the fact that a lot of that data is stored locally, and then you know that if they back it up, Apple has access to those backups in iCloud. So who knows what actually they get a look at? I'm not saying that they do. I'm just saying that I don't know what actually happens.
They obviously have to send web search requests out and stuff like that. So
and that's out of they can collect.
Well, I'm sure they probably do, but bottom line is, I think Apple looks after your privacy better than does Google.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. My opinion is Google is protecting my privacy as long as they're not selling that data in a personally identifiable way.
Right.
That's all I care about. I willingly give mountains of data to Google and to Amazon just so that I can have a better experience, and it is way worth it to me. I would give them even more if they asked for it, if they would give me a better experience.
Google is able to do that because they own the ad platform, so they can keep it all internal.
Exactly.
So they can go ahead and say, we're not sharing with anybody, we're just using it all internal, nothing goes out. And that is what they're doing, guaranteed. So they are sharing it with the ad company, their own, Google's ad company.
As long as you trust Google, then everything is fine.
And here's the thing. Now, let's just turn that corner and look at two more companies that look outside of Apple, looking outside of Google. We have Facebook, and we have Amazon. Now, Facebook, I don't trust.
No,
I
don't trust Facebook.
Yeah, I think we can all agree Facebook is absolutely the worst.
Amazon, I'm pretty certain they're sharing that with their advertisement people as well. I'm pretty certain they're. I mean, maybe anonymized, but they certainly are saying, "Hey, I've got people we can sell ads to," and and I'm certain that they are helping you target ads on you with what you're purchasing, what they know, but. Amazon's just simply trying to take over the world in every single way. So again, I don't trust the evil Amazon. So, and then we have Microsoft. Yeah, they're fine. Don't worry about it. They're so behind.
Yeah,
they're no longer a worry.
Nobody's using Cortana anyway, so
no longer a worry.
That is okay. If you remember in Windows XP, there were a couple things that you did immediately upon installing with Windows 10.
Oh yeah.
The first thing you do is turn off Cortana. Although I just did a new installation of XP, I just did a new installation of Windows 10 last week for the first time in a long time, and Cortana starts talking to you.
Yep.
From the very, and it scared the crap out of me. I didn't know it was going to happen. The computer's booting up over there, and I didn't have any speakers, but the monitor had an HDMI cable. And apparently has internal speakers that I didn't know about. All of a sudden, I hear Cortana, but it was cutting off the first couple, letters of the first word. So it was, the most dysfunctional, scary thing. I had to figure out what the hell is going on.
You're like it's a 1980s, sci-fi movie where the computers come to take over the world.
Yeah. And I was like, crap. How do I turn this off? But then I realized I can't turn it off yet, so I had to deal with Cortana through the setup till I got in and was like, okay, go away.
I use a Microsoft utility to image machines in my computer's labs, and so I was walking through a lab and I was imaging the machines. And these are business-style machines, so they have a little internal speaker, not very loud, but loud enough for it to hear the beeps. And so as I'm imaging the machines, I'm just going around, and then suddenly all around the row, hi there, looking for updates. I look up to found some of them. It's just going up. It's like, okay. And the teacher was in the room.
Crazy.
The teacher was in the room going. I walked out of the room and they started talking again, and I walked back and said they started talking. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't script to hit the volume button to 0% that point in the installation. It has to go through that, and so but yeah, I wish there was an option to make that silent for the automated installation.
I gotta give you credit. You made me snort on stream.
Oh,
I don't think that's happened once in the history of the movie party, and that's been some funny stuff. Yeah, good job. Achievement
unlocked.
Yes, there you go.
Wait a second. It's achievement. That's in PlayStation or is that Xbox?
That's all of them.
Oh, okay.
That's every platform. All right. Well, does that mean that we're like done talking about like the Apple thing? Because
Yeah.
if so, then I was waiting for you to put down your arms, but
It worked.
rants and raves. What do we got? What do we got, guys? What has got your panties in a bunch this week, or super elated? Anybody?
You put it that way, then I don't know that I really. Nothing's really driving me crazy other than the elite package on my PlayStation View. It's annoying the heck out of me.
Oh.
And we have tried to watch a little bit of the Olympics, and I find it just annoying. All of the different options that are supposedly out there, and none of them are actually showing what I want to see. And so I found myself flipping over to my antenna to just watch straight CBS to see what's actually broadcast on over the air live to watch the Olympics. And that's usually the one event that my wife or my in-laws were here. My in-laws wanted to be watching, mostly like figure skating and stuff like that. So that's been a little bit annoying. Come on, guys, just show us the one thing that everybody knows we want to be watching, which is the most popular event, which is what's being broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find it streaming. It may be there, but there's so many options supposedly that I was never able to find it. And then the other thing, that's my rants, my rave. I like I said, I started watching MacGyver, and it's been really good so far.
Hmm.
I subscribed to CBS All Access temporarily through Amazon. So,
Okay.
giving one more thing over to Amazon.
All right. You also watching that Discovery show?
I haven't started it yet, but I will probably. My in-laws don't do sci-fi. They're afraid of anything that's not real.
Okay.
So, which I mean,
So
MacGyver's
that being said, they shouldn't be watching the Olympics. Because as they talked about on Cord Killers this week, that the audio during those events is either pre-recorded or faked.
Well, yes, or
For good
Tom,
reason.
Tom explained that some of it's just really good focused audio.
Yeah. But
Shock.
some of it is like
Yeah.
well mixed, and no, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say though, in regards to your rant, that was the selling point of Hulu, was the fact that you could pick out the sports that you were interested in, and then it would just have it there for you whenever you wanted to watch them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Hulu's sports selection I found to be really good, but I also found it super annoying when you wanted to watch something specific. Like their navigation was a pain. Now, my understanding is I think that they got a TV guide thing or are getting one, so that will be good.
See, in this case, Hulu had the benefit because NBC was airing the Olympics, and Comcast, NBC, is a majority stakeholder in Hulu, so therefore they're able to offer a better experience than you would get on other platforms, because it was in their best interest. So.
Yes. Murder, She Wrote, and Matlock. That wouldn't surprise me at all if those were the shows that they wanted to watch. BioCow. They
don't forget NCIS and CSI.
But BioCloud is asking if they think that those shows are real because they need to watch real TV, as you said.
Oh,
yeah. I over-exaggerated a little bit. They don't like anything sci-fi, fantasy, or anything like that.
And as I said, obviously.
Yeah. Gotta be set in current days. But yeah, they tend to watch a lot more like reality stuff, like Game Show Network. They love to watch reruns of game shows.
Nostalgia, that's fine.
I
people love
still
that.
watch. When I've got nothing else to watch, I watch Match Game. I think I am currently up to Match Game 76.
Wow.
I started as far back as I could go, which was like 72. But
I'm not even aware of what that is.
What was the host name? What was his name? Gene something.
Not yeah. I can't think of it. I can never think of his name. But whenever Cloris Leachman's on there, I'm super happy. But
what is Match Game?
it was a thing where they would read a phrase. So you had two contestants, and then they had a panel of famous people. And they would read a phrase like, Jack fell down and broke his blank. And then the person would contestant would have to figure out what the word is. And then would match it with as many of the famous people as they could. And you always go as far into the gutter as you can to get the right.
You know, that is a thing about
Richard Dawson
about those
was good
old
on there,
shows.
too.
About those old game shows is that they would go innuendo all the way.
Oh yeah. And then they would be like the stars would be like making jokes at each other. And you got to watch this show. It's the funniest thing ever. I used to watch it a lot when I was in the Navy. When I worked overnights, it would be on at like 2:00 in the morning.
Apparently, they have a recent run of it. It's like on right now if you want to see a newer version of it.
Yeah, the new version is not as good. But yeah, because also they're not drinking and smoking on screen anymore. So you can't see like Dean Martin getting like wasted.
It's like watching a train wreck. That's what you're watching.
No, it's the greatest train wreck ever. And yeah, you get people on there that Betty White would be like one of the dirtiest. And this was like this is like pre Golden Girls. This would be like probably just after Mary Tyler Moore. And yeah. So yeah, watch the Match Game.
For me, I don't have very much that's been going on this week because I've been dealing with a sick dog.
Yeah.
Stupid dog, chewed a hole in his own butt.
Oh,
it's no fun. So she's got the cone of shame, which means I've been sitting with my dog and having to hand feed it and taking care of it. Dogs are no fun.
Dogs are great until they chew a hole in their butt.
I know. It's no fun. It's been quite the experience for me.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry about that.
Other than that, it's been a kind of a boring week for me. I've been watching I've been watching what my wife has been watching because we're just sitting down with the dog to keep it comfortable. And she's been watching a couple news shows on TV, and she's really watching Timeless. I think it's Timeless. It's the recent NBC time travel show, and she's excited about the new season coming out next in March. So, and I'm excited too. It actually was a halfway decent show, so I'm looking forward to that one for the future.
All right, rock on.
Cool.
Jimmy, you got anything? Or?
Yeah, so I think I might have told you guys a couple of weeks ago that I tried the DirecTV Now again, right? Made it about a week and a half into it, and then I canceled my subscription. So, I mean, it's not the video quality of that service is good, right? I just don't. I mean, I don't know. It's just too much like cable to me, and and not enough video on demand content.
Yeah. And that's the selling point of it, and that's why my dad is able to use it, is because it's cable. You can't really tell the difference.
Yeah. I mean, if you want if you want a true cable replacement, and you don't really care about video on demand, then DirecTV Now is a good service for you. But see, I'm just the inverse of that, right? And I mean, I want a big, I watch very little live TV, and I want a big on-demand library. I mean, that's the kind of viewing that I like. So it is just like, it's no better than anything else I got right now. It doesn't really fit my viewing style.
Yeah. Although, if you want the video on demand, you can use the DirecTV Now credentials to authenticate to the channel apps. So that's how I watch Fox Now. That's how I watch a bunch of the different apps, like Velocity. So even though my parents use the DirecTV now, but the channels that I actually want to watch, I watch them at home on my Roku through the native app for the channel.
So that's my kind of rant there. Is that one? Yeah, I mean, video quality was good on the service, and all. It just doesn't quite fit my style of viewing habits there.
Yeah.
But the raves am currently the one show I'm starting to go through now. I don't know if you guys have watched this, and it's a recent show on TV. I watch it off video on demand on Hulu. There's a show out there called Better Late Than Never, and this is a show of it's Terry Bradshaw, William Shatner, Henry Winkler, and George Foreman.
I've seen
those
commercials.
four
Or is that
guys
where they go travel? They go travel around the world.
travel around
I
the
saw
world,
something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. They had a season last year where they went to Asia. This season they're in Europe, right?
Okay.
And it's very funny, right? Yeah, it's a very funny show. So if you haven't seen that one, and especially if you have Hulu, I think you can go back and watch the previous seasons and that kind of thing.
Rock on.
So enjoying that one, and I'm really looking forward to end of March. I'll probably become a Showtime subscriber for a short while to watch the show Billions.
Oh yeah.
The new season
coming
is coming up.
And Bosch is coming back too.
And Bosch is coming back.
And
too. I'm looking
Bosch
forward.
was renewed for a 5th season already.
Yeah, and one of my favorites. I can't wait for both those shows.
And I Mozart in the Jungle came back on Friday, and I watched all of it. And that's why I was saying earlier, I think they might be canceling it, which makes me mad. Did you watch Mozart in the Jungle, Matt?
Me? No.
Oh,
I haven't
it's good. It's actually really good. I avoided it for a long time because the album art for the first season, I looked at it and I thought it was going to be like a period piece, like Mozart went to like Africa or something. And so I refused to watch it. I was like, I'm not interested in this. But it's really funny. And Malcolm McDowell's in it. He's awesome. There's just a whole bunch of people in this. It's a great show about New York City Orchestra but all the stuff going on in the background, the orchestra, like a little bit of music here and there, but it's a fun show. It's a really fun show. But yeah. I'd say though my rave this week is I finally get to watch The Soup. The biggest thing that I missed or really the only thing that I missed when I cut the cord was I didn't get to watch The Soup every week.
Is that the one on the E channel?
It was on the E channel, but now it's called The Joel McHale Show on Netflix, and it is awesome.
Oh, okay.
And I started it up. I was like, okay, I set my expectations really low. And they did it right. When they started it, he's standing there, and then he looks around confused, like, wait, what's going on? And he says, oh, I guess, where did we leave off? The Bachelor. And it was just like, yes. And it just picked right up, and they made it, they did some self-serving Netflix stuff. Like they drove home the point as he was walking around, and I won't say too much about it for people that haven't watched it because but there was one point where he runs into that Jody chick from Fuller House, and she says, oh, how many seasons you get? Or he said, oh, you got a show. He said, yeah, they gave us 13 seasons. So did we. No, episodes. Oh. Driving home we're gonna try this out, and no, they did some really cool stuff, and it was The Soup that I always remember. They brought back a couple characters from The Soup, and like Mankini was on there, and I'm like, nope, you can't. I don't go by that name anymore. Now he's like bathing suit guy or whatever, but Yeah, Jason Priestley stopped by, and either they had Joel McHale standing on a like a box or something, or Jason Priestley is like really short because he came up to like here. His head was barely in frame, but no, it was a good show. So I recommend it if you've ever watched The Soup, or even if you haven't, check it out. It's the Joel McHale show. Definitely worth watching, and I want everybody to watch it so they keep making it forever.
Okay.
Yep. And then the other thing, I guess, just a reminder to everybody, the February movie party will be happening this Saturday. This is the birthday party for me, so come on out. We're going to have fun. We're going to watch Pool Boy Drowning Out the Fury. It's the Kevin Sorbo, Danny Trejo classic, circa 2013, I think it was. And then right now the votes are up on Twitter for the second movie, and it looks like it may be Megaforce. I'm crossing my fingers for Megaforce, because if you've ever seen Megaforce from 1982, it is hilariously bad. He's got like a gold suit and a flying motorcycle with like machine guns. It's like G.I. Joe, low budget live action G.I. Joe. But there's a couple other movies up there, FDR, American Badass, and Thunderpants, movie about a kid that has massive rocket farts. Yes. He's like, that's his superpower, is like farting. So, yeah.
Maybe that's where Howard Stern got the idea.
Maybe. Oh, no, this would be after Howard Stern, because this movie was like 2002. So, they probably got the idea from Howard Stern. Because I think it's a British movie, so therefore, they probably in 2002 had just learned about Howard Stern. And, yeah. But yeah, that'll be 9 p.m. Central on Saturday. Go on over to @DC Movie Party. Okay. What else will be coming up? Another show next Wednesday, right here on Twitch, 9 p.m. Central, because that's my favorite time. Or every Wednesday night. Come on out and join us. We have a lot of fun. And those of you that subbed, those subs are expiring soon. If you still want to throw us your free sub from Amazon, we will gladly accept it. So
we'll take the Amazon monies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
eventually they'll give us some money. Right now they're doing like the parent thing where, oh, you got money in your birthday card this year. I'm going to put it away for you and I'll give it to you later. At an unspecified time in the future. But yeah, rock on. Thanks to everybody that comes out every week. We have lots of fun here, so join us live. I guess with that, I bid thee adieu. Thank you, chat realm. Thank you, guys. I will. One of these days, I'll make sure my mouse is in the right place at the right time. Bye.
Okay. Good night.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.